I want to hear more about that, though. Sarah, can I please have a roll call?
Yes. Laura Greenlee-Karp.
Here.
Sarah Zahradka.
Here.
Lloyd Grachek.
Here.
David Andren.
Here.
Ben Hansen is excused. Ingrid Koller.
Here.
And Rachel Lucas should be coming. And Cassidy Schweer.
Here.
Awesome. Can I please have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I make a motion.
I'll second that.
Discussion first? Why do I forget this every month?
Yeah,
All those
got it.
in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Great. Can I get a motion for approval of the minutes?
I make a motion.
I second.
Wonderful. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I flipped that around, didn't I? Okay, meeting open to the public. No one.
Nothing from the young lady in front?
Yes, lady. She'd like a popcorn stand.
Okay, so the item on commission business is 2026 CIP Brainstorming.
Yeah, so I'll introduce this. This should be pretty straightforward today. It's time to start looking at the projects that the commission proposed for 2026, which I included in the packet, and begin brainstorming what those should look like. So an example was last year, Laura and Sarah put together a wonderful document that had photos and potential costs and other examples for projects, specifically like the Gaga Ball Pit or the playground at Polar. It was really helpful for our Public Works team to see it, and that's what we're asking for the 2026 projects. So today wasn't designated for discussion unless there needs to be today. It was more, how do we want to approach this? Do we want to take this as homework and bring back some loose ideas for November that we can discuss? And then in January, when Public Works is here, then we can present kind of more concrete ideas that the commission has, or how we want this to look. I guess my proposal would be that maybe their subcommittees are formed for each of the CIP for 2026. You work together in the next few weeks to just put some loose ideas together to bring back to the commission. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we can talk through the few projects. There aren't many for 2026.
Are we allowed to meet with subcommittees or
3 or less.
3 or less? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so the projects are Casey Lake Open Air Shelter, Casey Lake Active Playground, Northwood Park update, but that's 6,000. I'm forgetting what that was for.
That was for the Gaga Ball Pits, which we did. We just moved money around, so
Okay.
ignore that for now.
Okay. Casey Lake Park update.
That, again, was going to be like a Gaga Ball Pit.
Okay.
my Understanding.
Colby Hills Small Park add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Am I misremembering that was going to be more difficult than we thought?
It was. So we kept it on here to discuss at a further time. We can't add anything on due to just size restrictions or space restrictions where the playground and the shelter currently is. But if the commission wanted to explore anything on the open green space that's across the street, I know we had talked about with Public Works that there was some pushback about we took the hockey rink away from there, and then people really wanted it back. So if we do build something there, the hockey rink's going to go permanently. And then we would have to make it ADA compliant, which is fine, it just adds cost.
Yeah.
So that was the considerations, but that was something that the commission wanted to look more into at a later date, so.
And I think there was concern about kids crossing the street between the parks, just to level set.
Okay, so we left it there to earmark it, and we can or cannot touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then playground at McKnight. Mm-hmm. So those are the projects that we're talking about.
Can I ask a question? What is the Casey Lake Open Air Shelter?
So we removed the 2 open air shelters with the picnic benches. This year, because they were just in disrepair,
Yep.
The idea is to rebuild one. Essentially, what we would be looking for guidance from the commission is if there's some sort of design feature that you'd be looking for in a particular location
Okay.
in the park.
So none of these are set in stone. These were just kind of the ones based on our initial recommendations that we can go look into. Okay.
Exactly.
That works for me.
Okay, so it looks like the the big ones or the three, well, I guess the big ones would be the active playground at Casey and then the playground at McKnight. And then I guess if we feel really passionately about what the Casey Lake open air shelter design or location would be. But
Exactly.
maybe less important than the other two.
Yep. And then, yeah, Colby Hills would be a big one if the commission wanted to look at that.
Okay.
I think because we have a handful of things planned for next year, and especially since 2 of them are potentially for Casey Lake, I don't think we need the Casey Lake Park update of the Gaga ball pit.
Well, and I think I wrote a lot of these, but I don't remember putting the active playground in for 2026. Just a gut, because knowing I've been working on the McKnight stuff, I would have prioritized that. And so I think when we come back, I think if this sounds like homework, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole tonight, but my first gut reaction is I think we need to prioritize McKnight and maybe that flex field over the active playground or whatever. So that's just where I'm going to come at from this, but we could take it back and look at it if it's homework, so if we're not talking about it tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Do people want to make subcommittees for, I mean, really, we're talking about the playground at McKnight, right?
I think the 2026 focus should be starting on McKnight and getting some of those dollars to use, and just doing a tiny little part of that isn't going to do us a lot of good, I don't think. And Casey does have a lot of really great features.
Yeah.
I think we had talked about that a lot, is that Casey waiting, but
I don't know if you guys remember, but there's also, we had the update with Ron last night, or excuse me, it was during workshop, but he still is to purchase the soccer nets out there as well. So, I mean, I think we've tapped into Casey Lake a little bit. That's one of our larger parks. It's been up to date. Not saying that should go to the wayside, but I think you're right. If we're going to tap into something, we're going to start fresh. I think the big focus should be that McKnight.
So if we talk about subcommittees, are we getting into the nitty-gritty of what we want that to look like? Are we picking playground equipment like kind of Laura and I did last year, or what?
I think so. That was my vision, and you guys can totally change it. I was thinking, yes, if you could put together what you and Laura did, and we could bring that back to discuss with the commission before we bring it to Public Works in January.
And
That was my thought.
And that's
We don't
not
have
something the HGA, because I know they had a random drawing in there, but
They had a random drawing, but they didn't have specifics.
so it's up to us to kind of build. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to put myself on that playground since I've been part of that McKnight project, but
I'm wondering, does it make sense for us to make a subcommittee for one project? Because if we're realistically just talking about breaking ground at McKnight with roughly $800,000. Could our homework, I don't know, I'm torn, because we could make a subcommittee and then we could bring it back at the next meeting, but then everyone can't necessarily be involved in that. We could talk about it at our next meeting and talk about the elements and stuff that we would want and work through that. And then after that, we would create the proposal after the big discussion. I just want to know, I guess I need to know timeline wise, if we are we're going to come prepared to talk about McKnight next month, does that push everything back that would negatively impact the city in any way?
Not necessarily, but I keep in mind, next meeting, our communications coordinator is going to come, so she's going to be presenting. That was just added yesterday.
Is that Ava?
Yes.
Okay.
She'll be coming to talk, so it might be a little bit longer meeting, which is totally fine, but I just want to make everything transparent. And as long as we feel prepared for Public Works to be here in our January meeting, because we don't have a December one, then that is completely fine.
what if they had a special meeting
We could have,
regarding McKnight, and so you guys specifically have the special meeting in December and say we're going to focus in on a McKnight. So there is no subcommittees it's just specifically talking about McKnight and the plans moving forward.
It's such a huge project. I do like everyone having some
Yeah.
input
Yeah.
on it. It feels weird
That's
to
good.
subdivide it down into, yeah, I think everyone kind of wants to be a part of this big project. And plus, I don't really do well with homework because I'm pretty busy and then I tend not to prioritize it. And I feel bad about, it just feels like extra, but I love talking together about what we want.
Do we have to be in this space for a special meeting?
I don't think so, but I do have to have it recorded.
Yeah, you guys can meet in, I always get that name wrong.
Sandberg.
Sandberg Room,
Yeah.
yes.
If we could do a special meeting in Sandberg where we can pull up
Round
a
table.
computer, different elements and stuff and talk through it in maybe like a more organic setting than this.
Sure.
And then come prepared for,
Perhaps earlier December, so we don't run into people's holidays or travel, like December week 2 or something.
aren't we going to do it in
November?
November, before our next meeting?
Oh, we do, because
You want to do it before?
you would, because I thought you were saying, because Ava's going to be at the next one, that's going to be long. And then we have to present to Public Works January, so we have from now till January. We don't have to give budget
Oh.
in the November meeting, right? There's not a
you're done.
deliverable.
We've already-
Yeah, so we have till January.
So we could propose like 3 different times and see if we're all available on one of the times, like maybe an early November or a mid or early December, even early January.
Well, we don't have a December meeting, so we could shift it to earlier December. I think that would make the most sense unless there's like a glaring thing that somebody has going on in December? No?
No.
Okay. And then we don't have to double up meetings.
Right.
And if we could keep just preferably Wednesdays, if that's okay, just because
Sure.
I work around Wednesday nights being.
Okay.
I try to.
So that would give us December 4th or December 11th.
Just the earlier, the better for
December.
December.
December 4th?
In the month.
Yeah.
Nope, sorry, December 3rd.
I'm busy then.
That week's hard for me. The 10th or the 17th is fine.
The 10th, I could.
10th
I
or the
can do.
17th.
We're talking about a Wednesday evening. Yeah.
I can do the 10th.
I can do the 10th.
6:30?
Hold on, we gotta make sure everybody can do the 10th.
Well, this is December.
I know.
Oh,
There are issues, unfortunately. But yeah,
oh yeah, totally.
Can you do the 10th?
Yeah.
Sarah, can you do the 10th?
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't
that's a,
think so, but if I can't, I can get my boss to come in probably, so.
Okay.
one or the other.
Can you all do the 10th?
Rachel, can you do the 10th? at
But
6:30?
the timing doesn't have to be 6:30. We can do it earlier too if that works.
I teach right up until this meeting.
Okay.
Okay, December 10th at 6:30 in Sandberg, special meeting.
And what room is?
It's just a conference room right over there, but it's a table where we can like look at each other and there's a screen at the top, so we can just like look through playground equipment and all of that stuff together.
And then are we going to be doing any preparation for this meeting, or are we all coming in?
I think it wouldn't hurt to review what HGA prepared
Okay.
and come in with that mindset of, all right, this is what they have prepared. What kind of adjustments would you like to move? That would be my recommendation.
And do we all have access to all of the, do we all get all got a copy of that?
How about what we do is we will co-author an email outlining everything for everybody, have it all in one spot with like clear expectations, and then we don't have to have any guesswork.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just give us a couple of days to figure that out.
Yeah.
I would like to suggest, though, if you do have certain features that you're thinking in your mind, like, oh, I would love to see this at the McKnight Playground, please, like, come prepared with that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we aren't, like, Googling it during.
Should we send it to someone in advance, or if you're not going to be there, just bring it?
Preferably, if you could send it to me.
In advance.
like, the week before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then I can add it and everybody can review it. The
Okay.
packet
Yep.
ahead of time. If you can't, though, we'll review it at the meeting, no big deal.
So we'll, in our email that we write, we'll just write deadlines, like it'll be super clear.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome.
So then we're going to discuss where at McKnight we may be putting this?
No, the area is already set. It's more what it would actually look like what the playground elements would be.
We do have it in place. We don't have the,
Yeah.
It's where the dilapidated tennis court is.
Did I see a lot of dirt piled up there? Has there been activity down at McKnight already?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that in my staff report.
Okay.
Not for this, though. It's
Oh,
a different project, but yes.
Different thing, okay. Sorry.
Do we feel okay? We feel good about, we're going to do a special meeting. We'll get you all the syllabus for the meeting. And then we can all come prepared. Are we okay closing that discussion? Yep.
I do want to add something about the Casey Lake Open Air Shelter, though, and of course, Ben isn't here, but he had suggested developing maybe like a way to talk to residents in that area about where they would like to see the open air shelter. That's kind of where I was going with this. If there's some recommendation from the commission on how we should go about that, if we're interested in talking to residents in that area, and just picking a location. So we don't necessarily need a subcommittee for that, but
Yeah.
still something that needs consideration for 2026.
What if the recommendation becomes that we don't think this is the year for that
Yeah.
replacement, I guess?
That's fine.
Okay. I'm just curious.
We have gotten like a dozen phone calls asking, why did you remove it? I want it back. I will
Really?
note that.
Which
Yeah.
one? The one that just got taken out?
Both of them from Casey. It's funny how many people say, when I go out on my walks and it's raining, I have nowhere to go. And I didn't know that many people walk out there when it's raining, but apparently they do. So great. But
Okay.
yes,
Good to know.
keep that in mind.
Well,
Rain jackets are also a solid investment for Minnesota weather.
It so is.
But that's good. I mean, clearly
Yeah.
the residents have.
Yep.
I
Yep.
know,
They've
yeah.
heard the feedback's there, they use them.
Yeah.
So maybe that is something that you make a priority.
Yeah.
And those open air shelters, just, this is me speaking from my own opinion. I don't think that there's that much that needs to go into them, that it can be a discussion and at the
Right.
next meeting that you can say, all right, this is what we want to see and come prepared with that.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, is there some features that could be really cool? I don't know. I think a really cool open air shelter would be awesome. What kind of features do you have with that? What extra does it cost? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I think a lot would be where we would locate those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest discussion, too.
yeah.
And I see Ben's perspective from it, too. What if it's right near a resident's house or a group of homes that's
Yeah,
like,
right.
I know, that's a lot of craziness happening at once. So I do think that perspective, maybe a neighborhood perspective would be good, but I can see Ben's point on that. So
Absolutely.
I feel
respect
like
that.
there's a network of people who talk to each other around Casey, so maybe we can plug into that network, and it can just be more like word of mouth. Like if you want to come talk to us about it at the next meeting,
There's a
please do.
Facebook group for that neighborhood that's pretty active. So I bet if you posted even a survey on there,
I think something in communications, if Ava put something in communications that indicated we will be putting up a open air shelter in Casey Lake, that will get things stirring. I mean,
That'd be great. Yeah, people.
please send an email to this with your questions or concerns or recommendations.
Suggestions about where.
Yeah, if anybody's listening to this, send emails my way. I'm happy to take them.
I
Perfect.
think another thing to remember, though, is that we're adding the active playground, and then we should probably see how the usage of the flex field soccer football situation works out, because that might better indicate where proper placement should be, best utilization.
Yeah, I was going to note, just as a fun side note, I don't go to Casey that often because it's not super close, but we've been taking our dogs there lately. And every time I've gone, which is probably 4 times in the last 2 weeks, there's kids playing soccer on that open air.
Cool.
Open area. So I'm really excited. So
Yeah.
it's a good call
Awesome.
for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So we will get the word out about the open air shelter
Okay.
and collect feedback passively, I guess.
Yeah.
And
That
just
works great.
and stay informed about where people would like to see it and also the usage of the new elements that we're going to put in and make sure it makes sense.
Perfect.
do you want me to keep continuing looking at grants for the skate park at McKnight? Since
Yeah.
That was. okay.
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Reports from staff?
Yeah, mine are super brief today. So about Ingrid the McKnight, dirt piles. It's nothing super exciting, but great for Public Works. They've just been working on leveling 3 of the 4 softball fields for drainage purposes. So they've been holding a lot of water. So they removed a lot of dirt and have been leveling them out. The 4th one was done last year, so they did the last 3 this year. So going to be a lot easier for them to remove water next year when it rains. So that's exciting. And then I'll let Cassidy, if you have anything to add to this, but last night the park rental policy went in front of City Council and it was approved with all of the fees changes that we had made. Only one suggested change, which was super minor, was to add language that deposit checks are mailed in 4 to 6 weeks after City Council approval. Just to be super transparent, it currently says 2 to 4 weeks, but sometimes it can take a little longer. So do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, she nailed it. I will just a few things. They do, council had indicated that because we are so quote unquote inexpensive, that maybe we should revisit our rates and go a little higher. But I interjected and just said, hey, we can't just fly rates up immediately. And that this commission does recognize that, and that Sarah has put together a lot of information. Troy, Councilmember Woods, had also indicated that, we should create or have that language in that contract indicating that it takes 4 to 6 weeks. The reason why it would take 6 weeks is, what was it? Because it's council. So if we missed a meeting in August or we missed a meeting in November, they wouldn't get that check immediately because we still have to approve all the expenditures. Mm-hmm. So that's where as we were all discussing last night, that transparency, not a lot of people understand that council has to approve the monies going in and out. So that was really the biggest highlight. So they liked the alcohol fee. They thought that was a good idea. Questions came around, well, how do you know? How are you going to catch somebody if they are drinking? Well, we know that our cleaning crew is pretty strong, that they communicate that stuff. So everything was good.
Good.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you, Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, reports from commissioners. Lloyd?
Sure. Working with the DNR on possible grants for outdoor recreation programs. So, but the new deadline to start for 2026 is in December of 2025. So I will keep, when I get some information, I'll let Laura, I can let you and Sarah know when things are rolling again, but
Okay.
I'll see what detailed stuff they have. I'm working on that.
Is that the Get Outside grant? You remember?
It's outdoor rec program grant.
Okay.
There's 2 types, but this one seems to fit better for us.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for looking into that.
You're welcome. That's it.
Okay, Sarah?
Yeah. Just one thing. So Urban Ecology Center, that's that outdoor area that's kind of tucked away on the Gateway Trail. I have been unsuccessful in being able to walk around that whole park this entire summer and year. So there's some really bad, it's a nature area, but it drains pretty low. And then obviously Public Works can't get back there to mow. There is a boardwalk on one part of it. And so I don't know if there's a way with any extra cedar chips or something. The last couple times I've gone, I've been seeing people use it, which is kind of funny because I've lived there 4 years, and this is the first year I've tried to use it. And it's a really, actually kind of amazing, tucked away little nature trail. But it is disappointing that you can't go the full way around because the water becomes like a pond in an area. So obviously we have a boardwalk in part of it for that probably same reason, because it's a marshland. But maybe just seeing if Public Works can lay some excess from somewhere else or just something to maybe help level that out, I think, would be great.
Is that something they would have to check with the watershed on, though?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, either DNR or watershed. That area is that's a rocky situation right there because you also are hitting county area.
Oh.
So,
well, there is a boardwalk, so it's almost like they just need to extend the boardwalk 15 feet, but that's an expense.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, hey, I think it's great, and it's a great walk around for everybody because I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Also reviewing, it doesn't take much more to build that whatever one.
Yeah.
So it's just, who do we, And Sarah, that might be good for you to go back with on Ken is how can we extend this? Because I do believe that if we can get a hold of the right parties, we could do something by the end of next year.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Just, I mean, because I live there and I've yet like 3 or 4 times tried to go around and I can't.
Yeah.
Without like, I don't have the proper boots. I need like knee-high boots
I
at
don't
that
even
point.
know if I would chance it.
No.
You don't know how deep it is. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, when you go there, it's, I don't know if you want to chance it. You don't know how far
Yeah.
you're going to go.
It just feels like a miss on our part to like not, we did do a boardwalk on part of it. So anyways, just wanted to bring that up. And that's all I have for me.
Maybe it's up here.
I do not have anything.
I don't have anything for the parks that I represent. I just want to remark again about the intersection. I kind of, talked about this last time, and the dangerous intersection that's, I can't even be very specific right now.
South and Gateway,
Thank you. Yes, where the Gateway
or
Trail
County B, or whatever it's called at that
crosses
spot.
south. So I don't drive over there, and so I'm not reminded of it, but my friend who feels pretty strongly about this, what is my next step? I just can't even remember how we left things. What is the next action step on, like, who can I contact?
Well, so I will say our Public Works Director and our City Manager are both aware of it and have tried talking to the county, because it is a
Yeah,
county road. That
yeah.
would be the next step if you wanted to. Anybody from the public can certainly reach out to the county
Reach
as
out
well.
to the county.
But I do know that they've had conversations. I don't know exactly how those have went, but I do know that they've talked
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where the mowing, they mowed, but of course, then it takes a while for the suggestion to mow again happens, and then it's tall again. So apparently it's, again, not very safe. So I will try to take up with the county. I know she has contacted county commissioners and things like that.
Has she reached out to the city? Because I've come to speak to the council before about that road needing a sidewalk, which would actually really help the situation, because people roll right out onto that road because there is no sidewalk on South, and that's a terrible road to not have.
Yeah.
I counted like 24 kids out on the side of that road this morning for buses, and I'm like,
Wow.
and cars, just 24 kids, like,
Wow.
we need, and I've come before to petition for a sidewalk, but what's been told is like until they do a road project on South, they won't touch it. But I think that might be another vehicle, is to also come to the city council, or maybe have her speak at a city meeting and bring it in front of other people's attention besides
Okay.
just ours.
Yeah, I invited her to come tonight. She couldn't come tonight. But that's probably more effective if she goes before a city council on it.
Yeah, I would recommend the same thing.
Okay.
She's a resident of the
And I'd be
city.
happy to support her, and have a lot of
You have-
kids on school buses whose parents would be glad to come and speak to that
Yeah,
too.
okay, great, good to know, thank you. But I have nothing else for the other parks.
Rachel?
I have no updates currently.
Okay. Dave?
Nope, nothing to report.
Okay. Next. Or any last words? Like anything you have to get in there before?
Happy Halloween!
All right.
Oh.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I second.
Who seconded?
Rachel.
Both. Everyone.
Everyone said, everyone did.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Way to go.